You alright, Aarron? Sure? You alright? Are they around there now? Yeah, they're behind the building. Don't worry, everybody. I'm going to let you all know what's going to go on in a second. What I do want you all to do, though, is share the shit out of this right now. Just start sharing. Because what you're about to hear is unbelievable. And what the police are about to do, I've got a feeling, is going to be unbelievable. So the more shares that we get right now, the more we can reveal Northants Police being who they actually are. Just start sharing. Start sharing, start sharing, start sharing. Okay, so that person in there with the white shirt, I don't know whether you can see him, that's the inspector. He won't come out and speak to us. This lad right here, that's my nephew, Aarron. And I've just been round my sisters, Natalie, as beautiful as she is. Hi, Nat. Aarron came in. Bit shaken up. What's going on? Just been stopped by the police. What do you mean you've been stopped by the police? They've accused me of having a gun. A what? A gun. Who was you with? Two of my other friends. Okay. So when they accused you of having a gun, did they come up to you and say, on the fucking floor, on the fucking floor? No. They come up to Aarron and they searched Aarron, but they didn't search your two white friends that were with you, right?
No.
Just you?
Just me.
And your two white friends were standing there and they only searched you?
Just me.
Now, anybody who's been in trouble with the police before, in fact, anybody with a bit of common sense knows that if the police have information that somebody's carrying a gun, they do what's called a hard stop. They say, on the fucking floor, to everybody, and they search everybody. What they don't do is search one in front of his mates and then let them all go. Now, Aarron has never been in trouble with the police in his life. He's a grade A student. When I say grade A student, he is annoying in that aspect, isn't he? Because he took extra exams because the other exams were too easy. But the officer, what did he say to you, the reason why?
You thought I was in possession of a firearm.
No, but what was the reason? Because you fitted the description, he said.
Description.
Fitted the description. Fitted the description. Because apparently somebody with dreads...
A black male with dreads, wearing a white hood.
Well, that's pink, but...
It's a pink
okay,
hoodie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. Was where?
I was at Morrison's and I wasn't in Morrison's.
You wasn't in Morrison's?
No.
And there's cameras in Morrison's. But where was you? At a bus stop?
A bus stop, Kettering.
Now, of course, we can say that the police could get information that somebody's got a gun, and they've got every right to go and check that. But what I'm not happy with is them not checking his friends. What I'm also not happy with is them not giving him a stop and search bit of paper, not giving him any information whatsoever. So me and his mum have now come down to the police station to speak to him and explain calmly, haven't shouted, haven't sworn, haven't been aggressive, explain the situation and ask who the officers were and the reason for the stop and search. Because there's officers right now on duty carrying firearms that are just stop and searching kids, in particular black ones. And that's not right. The inspector won't even come out and speak to Natalie and say, you know what, I'm going to look into this personally. I'll email you tomorrow or within the next 5 working days. But I promise you, Miss Lambert, I'll get this done. Nothing like that. No. He refuses to come out. Instead, he's now called a load of other officers there. And again, I haven't been abusive, I haven't been aggressive. He's now asked police cars to sit in the car park. We've now witnessed 2 police cars with lights and sirens come into the police station, which is just up there. So they're clearly waiting round the side of the police station. All for me. Now the interesting thing is, they state that they have a court order against me to stop me from filming the police, which is true. They did have a court order against me to stop me from filming the police early last year, but I won the court case, so that court order is now null and void. And I wonder why they want to get a court order against me to stop me from filming the police. Maybe it's to stop me from sharing things like this. Now, let's see if we can get some answers. Now, of course, I'm not being aggressive, I'm not being abusive. I'm in the entrance to the police station, and I just want answers. What's that?
At least a reference number to call 101.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
How are we supposed to reference?
He came out and he says, what you need to do is you need to ring 101. And Natalie rightly said, how can I ring 101 when I don't know the officers that are involved? Pardon, I can't hear you. I don't have my hearing aid in, I can't hear you. Okay, well, I'm deaf. I can't hear what you're saying. Oh, so now you've locked me in.
No, the doors are with a sensor.
Okay, right now you're live. Inspector,
Right.
you're live.
Aarron, just
I've
let me
asked you
know.
to come out.
Aarron,
I haven't been abusive. I haven't been
aggressive.
aggressive.
That's fine, that's
I
fine.
just want to know why. I even said I haven't come over here to film you for views. I come over here to deal with this.
Right.
And I don't actually put you on because you've actually been all right. And I don't feel the need to put an officer on camera if they've been okay. But
Aarron,
you can confirm that I have spoken to you
Aarron,
respectfully, yeah?
Yes, sir.
I haven't been abusive in any way.
Yep.
I've just asked for details of the officers that stopped my nephew, and I've asked for the inspector to come out, or a sergeant.
Yeah, I'm a sergeant, Aarron. That's why I
Right.
come out to speak
Oh,
to you.
okay, brilliant.
I'll come and speak to you. That's what
Well,
I'm
you
trying
got-
to do, is to speak to
You've
you
got
now.
9,000 people listening to you.
Okay, right. How can I help you?
Okay. This is my nephew.
Hello.
At 9:30 tonight, around about that time,
Okay.
he was at the bus stop.
Which bus stop was that?
This is funny. The moment I go Facebook Live, a sergeant comes out and speaks to me. A minute ago, no one was going to come out.
I was really there sourcing that.
No, but that's what your colleague said. You have been absolutely fine. I could hear the way
Yeah,
you were
we've been
speaking.
in a handover, so that we were handed over to the
Okay,
night
but as
shift.
soon as the colleague went out there and he spoke to the inspector, his balls grew the moment he came back out. He didn't change. He was fine. Like I said, I've got no interest in putting you on camera or you because you've done nothing wrong with me. What I have got an interest in is when people aren't being okay with us. This is Aarron, my nephew. This is his mother, Natalie. Around about 9:30, he was waiting for a bus. A plain car pulled up, along with some X5s, the armed response.
Yep.
They've approached Aarron. They haven't done a hard stop. They haven't screamed at him, get on the fucking floor. They haven't pointed guns at him. They haven't even pointed tasers at him. They've grabbed his wrists. He's asked them why. They said possession of a firearm. We know officers wouldn't just go up to somebody and say that. He was also standing with two of his white friends. They searched him, didn't even search the other two. Now, that just doesn't happen. He's a grade A student. When I say grade A student, stupidly grade A. Never been in trouble with the police before. He's one of them irritating ones that does extra exams because he's so clever. He's came in really shaken up. Now, what my concern is, I did a video last night because I got stopped by the police for a number plate. And I was so impressed with the way the police dealt with me, I felt it was worth a video to show that not all officers are the same. Only a night later, this happens. And this is the problem. When they're treating kids like this is why kids then grow up with hatred against the police, and it's not right. Now, when that officer come out, mate, you need to go away and you need to ring 101, that's not acceptable. The officer didn't give him his collar number. He hasn't given him any paperwork, no stop and search paperwork, nothing. Asked for his information, his email, and then told to go on his way. That's unacceptable.
Okay, let me get some details. I will then get the incident up. What town was this in?
Kettering.
And it was 9:30.
Yep.
Do you know what street you're on?
Now, of course, everything's on camera. What one of his friends has managed to do is film the officers from his hip, so we can see that they are actually firearms officers. Because when he was explaining it to me, and he mentioned suspicion of a firearm, I'm thinking, well, if they didn't get any guns out, they didn't scream at you to get on the floor, are you sure? But you can clearly see they're firearms officers. They've got guns on the legs and tasers on the front. So all I want to know is the details of the officers, so we can ring 101 and we can go through the correct procedure. And just an inspector or somebody like yourself coming out, speaking to his mum and saying, listen, I'll look into this personally, we'll get back to you, that would have been enough. But that officer's attitude in there stinks.
Phoning 101 with no reference, what's that going to do?
That's fine.
We'll be on
Right.
the phone for ages.
I'll grab your details. I will get the incident number for you. On that incident will be all the officers that attended. I'll write them down for you, and then you can go through the complaints procedure once I've given you the incident number it relates to, and
Yes,
those
please.
officers that were in attendance.
Yes, please.
Okay.
The other officer that we just spoke to, he said you can wait here, but we don't know how long it's going to be and you'll just be waiting in the cold. So I suggest you go home. That isn't the response I wanted. He was then making him, my nephew, feel a lot more comfortable. And as he's speaking to him, he's gone in and then called your colleague away. When actually, he was de-escalating the situation. I think he needs words of advice, and maybe he could learn from this gentleman.
Right, whose email address have I got here?
Want me to write mine as well?
Yeah, please. Can you put your...
Deal with it the correct way. You don't need to shout, you don't need to swear, you don't need to punch things. If you get a decent officer, they can clearly see that you're upset. And if you get a decent officer, then maybe they might work with you to resolve the situation. It can be intimidating when somebody who lets his power go to his head thinks he can just get other officers waiting around with the blue lights to try. Well, I mean, what that inspector's doing is just wasting taxpayers' money, because he doesn't want to come out in the cold. Like, he's sitting in his desk. He doesn't even want to put his jacket on. He hasn't even got his jacket on. He's just sitting there in the warm with his shirt on. And he sends other officers to come out and do the talking. But he's quite happy to sit there and waste taxpayers' money to get other officers deployed to try and ask me to move away. Well, I'm not going away until we get the right information of these officers that stopped my nephew. It's wrong. And like I said to the sergeant, this is the problem we have today. We have young kids growing up with a hatred against police because of instances like this. Oh, look at this, look. Another 2 police cars coming in. So it's now 4 police cars that are coming in. 5 police cars that are now waiting around the station. Because Aarron Lambo's here. Funny that, isn't it? There is a big difference between sticking a camera in a police officer's face trying to provoke him just for views, and actually using your camera because you're in the right. Big difference. 6 police cars. There we go, you can see them coming in. It's okay. Body cameras are on, my camera's on. I've done nothing wrong. Just adds to the complaint. Someone said nothing will be recorded at this, guaranteed. Well, actually, you're wrong, because where Aarron was standing, it's heavily cameraed up. It was at a bus stop, right next to Mental Monkey, actually. So his friend recorded it on his phone from his hip, and the whole incident was recorded on the town cameras. But like I said, there's a correct way to deal with things, and then there's a wrong way. And that's the purpose of this video. The worrying thing is there's clearly a police officer on duty carrying a gun who's going around randomly stopping kids today. Black kids with dreads. You ain't even got dreads. What are they? Twists.
Twists.
There's twists.
They're twists, they're not dreads. This is a pink hoodie, it's not a white hoodie.
I ain't seen any black people with dreads in Kettering yet, have you?
No, I haven't
I
actually.
ain't seen any.
Yet to.
Huh? You got dreads? No. Let's see if the situation gets sorted out. Well, it's getting sorted out a lot quicker than what it was a second ago. I mean, a second ago, there wasn't a sergeant that was going to come out, and the inspector certainly wasn't going to come out. The fact that a sergeant has actually took it upon herself to come out and deal with the situation says a lot about her. But from what the other officer said, no one's going to come out. You need to leave. You'll be out here for a long time. It's cold. Best off dealing with one-on-one. Now, that's not going to happen, mate. That's not how you deal with a situation like this. They're all in there. They're all around there. Anyone will think I'm the one with the firearm. It's a police station, that's why the cars are there. No. The police cars don't come into a police station. Rewind the video. What I said, they don't come into the police station with their lights and sirens. They don't come back to the police station with the lights and the sirens. And we've just seen them around the back, parked up, sitting there. Just like there, all round, watching. But it's okay, because I ain't scared of them. I've got a power too, and it's called social media. But it's important, if anybody else out there has any issues with the police, like I said, you don't put the police officers that are being decent on your social media either, because that's not fair for them, it's not fair for their families, it's not fair for their friends. Someone's turned off Netflix to watch this. Aarron, you're famous. Someone's turned off Netflix to watch this. There must have been something shit on Netflix, right? Look at the inspector look laughing. He's actually laughing. Look at that. This is clever. Oh! What was the inspector's excuse? What did he say earlier? He said that the officer came out and the inspector said, we've got three or four serious incidences right now that need to be monitored. Monitored. My reply was, I don't know any incident that's more serious of accusing a young lad of having a firearm. So a policeman with a gun going up to a young kid and accusing him of having a firearm, I'd class that as pretty fucking serious, right? This is how serious the incidences are right now. They're on a T-run. They're on a T-run. Your inspector's a cock. Absolute cock. You're on a T-run. Wow. On a T-run. Now, of course, you can't jump on the opinion that the police are just going to stop anybody that's black. That isn't what I'm saying. And of course, if they do genuinely get information that a young black male is carrying a firearm or a weapon of any sorts, you expect them to be stopped and searched. Absolutely rightly so. What I do not get is if you're accusing somebody of doing that or having that, and he's got two other friends with him, white or black, they should all be searched. Because how do you know that he hasn't given a weapon to somebody else? That's the procedure. So clearly, something has gone wrong there. They haven't pulled a gun out on him. They haven't pulled a taser out on him. They haven't searched the two lads that were with him. You know, what did you say when the police came up to you and grabbed you? You were just giving your friend a chewing gum. So you were passing your friend something and your friend was not searched. Could have been a gun. Imagine. And that's why you had the incident where a custody sergeant was shot recently, because people weren't searched. Oh, someone said they've stopped banging someone else's missus to watch this. It's nice. And someone else has said that they've stopped watching Netflix to watch this. It's brilliant.
What are you watching on Netflix?
Exactly, that's what I said.
Right, you just want to get a calling card.
Thank you.
I've got the incident number for you. I've got all the officers that were in attendance.
I don't need their details for this. We can just put them on paper for Natalie, that's fine.
Card, so you have everybody's.
Because I'm going to give you my word, that isn't the reason why I was doing this, to put their information on there. So, that's fine. Okay.
Yes, we've got that. Hold on.
So we'll just wait out here.
Yeah, I'll wait with you. Is it
Oh, okay.
just want to get a card?
Thank you.
So I can write it down. Is it?
I've just finished banging someone else's missus to watch this. What a thing to post on social media. What a comment to write. What if the other two parties happen to be a follower of mine and happen to see that comment? Left my missus watching MasterChef to watch this. The inspector is likely sitting, stuffing his face with jam. No. He's dealing with a few other really serious incidences. Incidences that are far more serious than a police officer accusing a young lad of having a gun. In fact, they're that serious. He's sent right that he's looking there. He saw you all looking. It's that serious. He's just done a T-run. That serious, he's just on a T1. I think he's more annoyed at the fact that I'm not being abusive or aggressive and he's not got no grounds to use the power that he's put in place around here. I think he's that annoyed. That's how you beat them, you see. Stay calm. There's always a better way to deal with it.
Those doors are a nightmare. They're airlock. So if you move the sensors on one door, the other doors don't open. Thank you. Right, excuse my...
No, it's fine.
Like I said, share this one. I don't ask you to share a lot. In fact, I never do. Share this one because it shows the people that are in the position of power how they actually run a force. It shows I hate using it because you do have the right to stop somebody if you've been told they had a weapon, but there's no other excuse for it apart from racism. If he's got two other white friends with him and they weren't searched either, that's just... Northants Police have really let themselves down. They really have. And the inspector should be ashamed of himself. Ashamed. Look at him, he's leaning back with his hands on his head. Thinks he's being clever. Pathetic. But he ain't going to get a rise out of me. Too clever for that. What I'm doing now is keeping the camera on for my safety, my nephews and my sisters. Because I'm worried that if I do turn the phone off, that's when PC dickhead's going to come around the corner and he's going to be a bully boy. Which is what I don't want. Just so you all know, another reason for you to share, which I do know, this is a fact because I heard this from the court order. They have intelligence, they have people dedicated to watching my social media for this. So they are actually watching, he's watching, they're all watching right now live. So feel free to comment away. They're watching, which means they'll be reading the comments. Comment away, share. I'll maybe ask to go away now because I told you, they're watching. So because I've told you all what I know they're doing, now he's drove away, they're trying to play it down. See what they're doing now? Funny that, isn't it? They're all there watching this video. And as you're all watching me, and this isn't to the fans and followers, this is to the inspector that's now watching. Instead of me looking through the window, I might as well talk to you. Inspector, you're a cock. You should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. And you should be having words of advice for the officers that stopped my nephew today. It's an absolute disgrace. Like I said, the inspector's watching. Feel free to share and comment. I hope someone's banging the inspector's wife while he's watching this. Probably is. Thank you for your help. You satisfied, yeah? Right, thank you. Thanks again. Take care. There you go. All done. They were brilliant. Couldn't have asked better. There's not much they can do at this time of night. I get that, and there is a procedure to go through with complaints. What they can do is give you the information of the officers, which is what you've just got given. And the other officer?
He should have Aarron should have left with this after we got searched.
But what did the officers say when they first come out to see
They
us?
don't have that information. They're a different thing. They're on different channels. They just don't have it.
And they won't speak to the inspector won't speak to us, and they're not going to give us the information of the officers that stopped you. Yeah, that sergeant just come out. She's given Natalie all the information that she needs, the collar numbers, every officer that was involved.
Oh, yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 police officers were involved in that. Does that sound right?
Yeah, so about
7 for 1.
7 police officers that were involved in stopping a lad who's never been in trouble with the police before. He's a stupidly grade A student. But you can't, like I said, they don't know that from looking at him.
Yeah, I get that.
But to not search the other two at the same time,
That's where they fucked up.
not even put you in handcuffs, you've got a gun on you.
Yeah.
Not get you on the floor,
So
Yeah.
nothing.
An excuse.
Wow, what do you do? They just ask if you had a gun.
Yeah,
Is that what they do now? They just ask if you got a gun. Wow. Right, thank you for joining in on the live. If you didn't watch it from the beginning, I suggest you watch it from the beginning. It's well worth a watch. Peace out. Off trainer, baby.